Good afternoon, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. Today's the 23rd of April. I had a very busy day with my father today. Many of you know my father's a disabled vet, spinal cord injury after being in the military for a number of years, partially paralyzed, and getting older, obviously. But today we had 3 appointments, and we were off the location on one. And so that put us behind for about an hour and a half. But we got everything done, had a good time in the sunshine. It was all good. So I'm coming to you today to talk to you about this move in the SPY and why I started liquidating all of my positions to the upside. I'm still holding two minor positions to the upside, and I've started stacking to the downside. So I'll give you an example of where I'm at and what I'm looking for. I right now have XLK puts, XLF puts, SDS calls, and that's it to the downside. I've got a number of silver and gold positions, and a small minor position, and then I have a small position in some innovation and robotics trades that'll carry out well into August, September, October of this year. In fact, these are the two that I picked up. I'm very happy to see this move to the upside. You can see bots shot up this morning. I'm kind of looking for this type of recovery through the end of the year, moving kind of back up into this 34, 35 area, and kind of the same thing over here, expecting this to move up into the $24 area. And again, that puts a fairly decent, when you consider I was buying down here, that's a 20-25% rally on a stock that moves up fairly quickly, and we could go even higher. So understand this is a 46% rally on a stock that could recover very strongly. Now, when you look at these, and again, this is sidetracking what I wanted to talk about on a weekly basis, you can see that we're very undervalued. Okay, so look at this. You can see that we're back down near this low. We were very undervalued in the sense that we had already been down here near this historic low. And I thought, the part of trading, guys, is to be able to identify these outliers and to be able to have a little reserve capital to try to pick up some of these lows when they happen. Now, in this case, we had this lower channel moving up across here like this. And I've talked to you guys about these channels. So when you get too far to the outside, then you have a very good chance that you're going to revert back to the mean. So price reversion suggests that we're going to revert back into this area, maybe getting a solid upward trend. And price reversion here would suggest, look at these lows. Remember, going back to 2019 here, this is the COVID low. We were back down near COVID lows, a very extreme low. And if you take a look at this kind of channeling, figure out that the mean area would be somewhere across here. And that means that if we do get into a fairly solid recovery, we could be looking at a move up like this. Send it back. Okay, there we go. And we could be looking at a 100% move. So it's just a little long-term play. I like the recovery of the robotics section over the next couple of months. I think we could get a very solid move up in the upside. These could be nice little slow growth money makers. And again, I've only put, let me check real quick. I've only put a fairly small amount of money into these. So I put $300 into bots, and I put 450 or so into U-bot. So it's not going to kill me. And I doubt very highly, considering I bought near the lows, that I'm going to see too much deterioration price wise. Time decay, yeah. I mean, I got all the way out to September and August on these. That's still 4 or 5 months away, and we'll see what happens. If I get anywhere up in this area and get a good 50, 60, 100% gain, I'll just get out of it and reposition. Okay, so now back over here. You remember I was talking about how we were going to move into this channel. This is 30-minute here. We've got the big breakdown, and I mentioned to you that we've got this move here coming up and potentially setting up this flagging formation here, right? So here we are. We've got the flag. If we do get the breakdown, we could see a move back into the May lows coming into this area, breaking down into these lows, trying to find some support, moving back up maybe before we break down into the July low. So I'm looking right now in this area here. I'm looking for this, this potential breakdown mode here, breaking down into this channel, coming down into those lows. So that's really what I'm kind of looking for. This roll, breaking below this flag low, getting down into this consolidation. And basically, this is the level right down here that I'm going to be looking to try to find a buy trigger, rolling back into this uptrend. Because in theory, at this point, we're going to have a move from this low, this 47.80, back up into this area before we roll back out into the deeper low. So here's the level then that I would be looking for shorts. And again, that's the level, not necessarily the time. I could be completely off on this time, indicating it could be, way out here somewhere. And if I go to hourly, I can probably show you a little more accurately. There's May, and we move into June, so it would likely be out in this area. The way it would work is more like this, moving up into this late May, mid-May, rolling down into the June and July low over here. So this is where I would be looking for the uptrend here in green, breaking back into the downtrend here. So right now, given where we're at and given the failure to get back above this 5150 area, I was lucky to catch the move up. I wrote about it this week. And really what it was, I got to tell you, this move down here. So we had that 4,800 level on the SPY, this low down here. Okay. And then I had highlighted how, from this level up to this level, it was pretty simple that we had to watch the 618 level, which is right in this area. And I showed you how I caught that ultimate low down here. This ultimate low worked out beautifully, below 50%, close to 618%, was 618% on the SPY. And off this low, I started to catch along. And then we broke up to the upside, and I made a lot of good profit overnight. I just threw another long on at the end of the day on Tuesday and caught this move up over here today. And once we got up over here at the open, and I realized, you know what? We're back up here in my resistance area. We're back up here in this zone that is technically topping. Or I told you guys, this is where we want to just kind of look to exit out. We don't have much left. I started liquidating a lot of my longs and positioning for the short side. And it worked out just fine because it just melted downward consistently throughout the day. We may not get a big sell move over the next couple of days. We may move into more consolidation, but this is what I'm talking to you guys about being patient. How much risk do I have? I sold up in this area here. How much risk do I have? If the market goes up a little bit, rolls back around and sells all the way down, like I told you, how much risk do I have, guys? I don't have a whole lot of risk. My trades are good all the way out until the mid end of May. So essentially, my trades are good till way out here. I've got all the way into this area to wait for a low on some of these positions, which could be very, very profitable. And I can load in. So I get into a bunch of profits, I can get out and then load up on some more profits if I want. I mean, you understand that where options perform is when you get above or below the strike price, for every dollar move you hit, you get X amount of profit. So it doesn't matter if I got $3 here or $3 down here, it's the same profit level. Okay. And again, being ahead of the market can be very, very powerful. So right now I'm a little ahead of the market by about 3 or 4 days, I think. And really my first level of profit taking, well, would likely be somewhere in this area, maybe this area, definitely this area. Um, I would be looking to try to get something out of the market in these areas because let's face it, if I get a move like that down, I would be stupid to deal with, some sort of moderate price correction here that deteriorates my profit position. It's easy enough for me to liquidate, say I have four of whatever, I have four here, and I come down to here, I would be stupid not to try to get rid of, say, three, keep one, lock in the profit, roll back up here, and maybe then add a couple more over in this area before we roll down into these lows. So it's just a matter of playing the counter trend. You must understand that price is not going to just move in a straight line. It's not going to be wonk, knock it down. It's going to be more like this, maybe something like that. And that's going to be the directional trend that I think is fairly likely, the yellow. So you're going to get lots of little ups and downs, but you just got to be able to play it. So right now I'm leaning short, trying to eliminate my upside scenario and leaning short into this May low. Really, my May low targets are, like I told you, kind of in this area here, and then ultimately down in this area here. Okay, gold and silver. Silver made a big move today to the upsides, pulling down a little bit. Gold was beautiful. In fact, someone wrote to me about, you have a crystal ball. No, I don't have a crystal ball. I told you before, I've been doing this long enough that I kind of see what the market's going to do before it does it. And that's part of the reason why a lot of you guys are following me, is because I think I'm pretty good at delivering factual information to you to help you trade. But this move in silver above 33 is a pretty good indication that we're moving into some sort of a breakout range. And again, I do believe gold back here, we got down to 33 again, rallied above it. This is a pretty good pullback here. It's almost like gold and silver have kind of aligned. Gold came back down to 3,300. Remember, that's a big psychological level. And silver got right up to the $33 and broke above it. So in this case, I think silver is kind of leading the rally to the upside, and we're going to see how this goes. But ultimately, guys, like I said, silver has the potential to come all the way back up into this $35 area. So be aware that the move for silver would be up into this 35.40, 35.50, and then up. The move for gold would be to rally back up into this. I've already kind of drawn it back up into this high, 3,500 or so, and then up into 37.50, right up into this area that I drew earlier, right here. So there's the next big move for metals. It's like a great big leg. You can see this legging, like here to here, and then I drew this here to here. In fact, let me get rid of that. Come down here, copy this a little bit. get the height the way I want it. Oop. Push this up to here. All right, a little too high. So let me shrink this down a little to here and get rid of that. So here's our legging. You see how it comes right up to this high. And then here would be our next leg. Up would be right up into that 3750 area, 3760. Leg one, right here. Boom. I'll mark them. Leg one, leg two, and leg three. So there we go. And it's moving up basically in 100% measured moves. And from this level, you've got essentially well, let's go from here up to here. You got a $392 move, 11 and a little over 11%, 11.5% to the upside for gold. That's going to be a good move. If we were to get the same type of move over here in silver, 11.5%, which assume let's get about half of it, 6.5, would put us at 3560, perfect. And if we were to go up to about 11.5%, that'd put us at about 3740. That's a really solid move in silver. And so get ready. I think we're going to make a big move. So again, pay attention over here. We've hit our low. We've transitioned all the way up. Look at this. I highlighted it before. I'm going to show it to you again. We hit our low. We rallied up. We flagged. We broke away into consolidation. We gapped above consolidation, rallied up to an ultimate high. Boom. We hit our ultimate high right there. Now, guess what? We're rolling down. We're at the end of the rally phase. We're either going to move into an invalidation move back to the upside, or what's going to happen here, guys, is we are going to flag like this from this peak, flag out, roll a little bit like this, break down into consolidation, maybe a little lower, and then break down into our ultimate low. So understand that the next move is an excess phase peak pattern breaking downward. We're just looking for flagging right now. Flagging hasn't set up yet. Flagging will come. It could be, depending on where flag is, if it's down here, we get flagged, then we have our range. Our range is basically from here to the low. Then we would have a secondary leg down here and a third leg down here, which puts us close, let's say, not quite to my May low. So that would mean that we would have to, I'm not trying to do that. Just wanted to get rid of these lines. Pay attention to the time. That would mean that we would have to have a deeper flag. So let me draw this again. Whoops. We would have to have a deeper flag. And the flag would likely come down like this, into this area, flag out. And then from here, we draw the line from here to the low. Oops. Yeah, I know, couldn't paste. Come down here to here. It's too much. Well, you get the idea. I don't want to waste time. We'd basically be looking at 1/3. And a decent 1/3 level is roughly from here to maybe here. Here to here. And this looks pretty good. And here to here. Yeah, kind of close. So here we go. Breaking down into this area, flagging, breaking down into consolidation, and then breaking down eventually into that low, which is going to come out over here. So in reality, it's going to be a broader context, more like this. So I can draw it again. flagging into this, breaking down into consolidation, and breaking down into the May low. So you get the idea here? That's what's coming. Okay, guys, again, pay attention, get ahead of the market. Don't get trapped in behind it. You want to stay ahead of it. When you get behind it, that's where you start chasing things that aren't there. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you in the morning. See you later.